Now, the first thing is the selling of Australia's assets. This is just a rant, it's just my view. Whatever the majority of Australians decide, that's the view that I will support. But this is my view. You have a think about it. I'd love to know what you think as far as selling Australia's assets. Let me just rant for a moment. Australia is an internationally respected country. We're widely known and respected right throughout the world. We've got a AAA credit rating, one of the very few countries in the world that does have a AAA credit rating. Interest rates are at a historic low. They're the lowest they've ever been in my lifetime, possibly the lowest they've ever been in your lifetime as well. The bond rate today, for example, was a 140-year low. I mean, we live in extraordinary times. Now, those things are fine. Let's just take, for example, let's just take the Kidman property, which I'm sure most people know, but for those that don't, the Kidman property is out in the middle of Australia, let's just say. It's a huge, huge amount of land. It's bigger than Tasmania. Represents 1.something% of Australia's total land mass. Huge. It's a group of properties, but let's just call it the Kidman property. Now, there's several Chinese multi-billionaires vying to try and buy that property for something less than $300 million, or around about the $300 million mark, which in terms of Australia's economy is not a huge amount of money. We're paying $300 million per week for interest on the loans that we owe. Scary stuff, but a fact. My contention is, why would these Chinese people want to buy it? Because the world is getting short on food. I won't pursue that too much, but you know, the world food supply is in somewhat of a turmoil. But when you've got a landmass the size of Tasmania, you can run hundreds of thousands of all different sorts of livestock, sheep, cows, whatever you want, camels, whatever you want. You can grow not square acres of fruits and vegetables, you can grow square miles of fruits and vegetables. The land is big enough to have its own airport, for example. It's big enough to have its own manufacturing plant that would boggle the mind. But if these Chinese can make a profit out of it, why can't we? They're not going to buy it if it's going to cost them money. They're going to buy it because they can make a profit out of it. Now, where's the entrepreneurial spirit? Where's the entrepreneurial spirit that made Australia what it is today? I'd like to see some sort of discussion with government. I mean, Lindsay Fox, who's a man I admire enormously, has shown interest in the property. If anybody could make a profit out of it, it would be Mr. Fox. When you've got a property that size and you've got the amount of capital to properly run the thing, you must be able to make a profit out of it. Why can't we, as a hypothetical thing, why can't we as a government buy it, run it as a government instrumentality, put in a group of directors, not paying millions of dollars, but paying good money plus a profit share, do the things that need to be done and sell the produce to the world. I've been internationally at airports around the world where people have gathered on a Friday night and drank champagne and wine and beer and what have you, waiting for the supply of Australian fruits and vegetables to arrive because it was a celebration to get Australian fruits and vegetables. This is in Malaysia. I mean, surely for goodness sake, we must be able to make a profit out of something like that. If we can borrow the money at traditionally low interest rates, make a profit, and if we can borrow money at say 2, 3, 4% in that region, I mean, I've borrowed money in my business, you probably have too. I've borrowed money at 15% and more. If you can't make a profit out of borrowing money at 2, 3 or 4%, you might as well give the game away. Well, I don't want to see us give the game away. I want to encourage that entrepreneurial spirit that made Australia what it is today and get government to talk to us about how we can do that. Not whether we can or whether we can't. How do we do it? Let's do it. Let's work out how. That's my rant on that one.